think it was really challenging now with the COVID to work from home.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
It was. You have those little kids, they have school, although they were really young. So the fact that they missed or not, their Zoom was not that important. By the way, my little one, he was 4 at the time. He would go 10 minutes on Zoom, and then you would find him, playing with his cars. What are you doing? It was boring, Mama. I could not stand.
Guys, episode number 4. We are here with Fanny Sergent,
4.
Big 4 partner. Thanks a lot, Fanny, to be here.
Thank you to you both.
It's the first time actually that we record at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we are like full of lights and everything. Usually we have just natural lights behind here, and
or the clouds from Luxembourg, not the actual sun, but
So a fantastic setup here.
Yeah, thank you.
We want to ask the usual question, Giacomo.
Yeah. Oh wait, you made introduction already? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You never listen.
Yeah.
It's not the first time, I swear.
Because I'm, shy.
Very good, the two of you.
So, Fanny, who are you today? How would you define Fanny?
How would I define Fanny? That's a good question. Where should I start? So from my accent, I think that some of you would know that I'm French, a French person who arrived here in Luxembourg about 22 years ago. Happily, did not really know a lot about Luxembourg before that. I grew up in Champagne area, which is 2 hours from Luxembourg. Fantastic and beautiful region. For those that have not visited, I really advise you. I have a lot of nice places, enough champagne producers to recommend to you if you want.
Okay.
Studied a bit in France, a bit in the Netherlands, and arrived really by hazard in Luxembourg, not knowing too much what was this country where my grandparents were coming, from time to time, but I didn't really know. And then I discovered that it's a fantastic place with a lot of people coming from different countries, so really international. And I was attracted by that. And I said, like a lot of people at that time, but we were more shy, we're not saying that, let's go 2 years and then we'll see. And so I landed in Luxembourg and happily discovered, and met a lot of fantastic people, which make me stay for now 22 years.
Whoa! So you studied in France?
I studied in France and the Netherlands. Yes.
Netherlands, where?
In Breda, a little town not so far from the border.
Okay.
Near Tilburg, near a lot of nice
How come
places.
you decided to go to Netherlands, just for an experience, or because you were thinking to move there?
No, I think that, in France we have those fantastic business schools that are helping or facilitating the fact that you're going abroad and having like an agreement with some schools. And I picked up the Netherlands because they were speaking English.
Yeah.
They are nice people as well to exchange with. And it was a nice experience for me, 2 years over there. I met a lot of fantastic people, friends for life that sometimes you have when you go to university and those sort of program, and also discover life. You're on your own, and you can travel in Europe. You can travel in that country. Makes a lot of sports. Go into a lot of museums as well.
Okay, and I was growing up in France. You told us, you come from the region of Champagne. Yeah. I just know
we've been there actually.
Yeah, we have been there
once.
Once.
Where
But
have you
well, we went to
really mainstream place. We've been to Moët Chandon.
Yeah.
So next time we should go where you will
a lot of nice places.
tell us to go.
Big houses and small producers as well.
Yeah, that will be really interesting. And it was really good, especially I remember that we went with my dad and my sister. They came here to visit us, and of course brought with me the small brother here. And we went there, and I remember that
The smarter one. Go on, please.
Yeah.
You were saying
And like I remember that we went to Epernay. It's called Epernay, right?
Epernay, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think you come like from the mountain, then you start to like the street to start to go back and everything, and you see all the vineyards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like really really good.
Yeah.
And it was sun. It was literally like a really nice view. Yeah, while you go
Yes.
downhill and you see
If
all the
you're
valley,
lucky,
it's really nice, really
If you're
nice.
lucky with the weather, it could be
Yeah.
fantastic, and you can also go in certain villages that are awesome to visit, and very nice houses, and you have very nice views.
Yeah.
And then you arrive in Epernay in the Avenue de Champagne, where you have
Yes.
all the big houses.
Yeah, they told us it was like the most expensive avenue actually, because
The world like,
Not like-
there is like underground.
Yeah.
underneath. It's like crazy. Because just Moët Chandon, if I'm not wrong, had like like hundreds of thousands of bottles underneath.
I think even millions. No,
Yeah,
there are not even millions. Like
And
barrels.
if you count Pommery and Tétinger, and some being in Reims and others in Epernay, you have a lot of subterranean cellars.
Yeah, in fact, like just my Shandon has like 28
28 kilometers. Yeah,
kilometers
yeah.
of,
Yeah, it could be.
it's crazy. But all those brands are like from there, like or are like old families from there.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah. It's all the families. They all have their stories, and some are more modern than others.
Mm.
But you have to know also that the cellars have been used during the World
World
War
War, yeah.
in order to hide and to protect some food or materials of necessity. So multiple history behind that.
And actually, I remember about the tour for Moët Chandon. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but they showed like it was actually like a general ledger of all the entries they had of buy and sell. Actually, just sell, let's say. And it was the name of Napoleon. And it was so funny because they showed like the very first time he bought like 300 bottles for his campaigns around Europe, right? And it was funny because he said, when he basically won all his battles, right? I mean, except for, like the last two. I mean, Russia and then back to Waterloo. But it was funny because he said like before leaving for the campaign, he would buy like a lot of champagne because he could like eventually, celebrate the victory. Or in case of loss, he could just soak in the champagne, right?
Yeah.
And
It could be. What would be interesting for you guys as well is to visit some small producers. So there's different experience. The small producers would also help you to understand, how the champagne is produced. What is the story behind those big houses? And I can recommend you one that I really love, and I'm a bit less objective here. My brother is working for a family, making everything from the vineyard, the champagne itself, producing and then selling, commercialize it.
But
So it's a good
is
visit.
he like a sort of sommelier or wait? I don't remember the name, the other technical name.
Well, he has made studies in order to know how to grow the vineyards and the wine and the grapes, and how to assemble the different grape, the 3 grapes that we're using in Champagne, and making the assemblage together with some years being better than others, and could be a vintage. And he's doing also the sales. So he's exporting, not selling only in France, but also exporting elsewhere, like in Japan and in other countries. So it's really interesting. At the time where the owners were still alive, and it was not so long ago, they were counting a lot of histories, but they were also trying to find the bottles of your year of birth, and offering that to you, or having this tasting with you. So remember that once we tasted a lot of champagne that they have in the winery, but they also had one bottle of the age of my father, and we had that together. It was fantastic. It was a nice experience.
So you like champagne, like you like to drink champagne also in your, let's say, I don't know, during the week, just to chill.
I would not say that I have champagne every day, not at breakfast, but in Champagne, it's usual that, when you receive friends at home, the aperitif is with champagne, or the weddings are with champagne. And it seems, for people from other regions, at first it can seem a little bit not really humble, but that's like a tradition,
Yeah. But that's the same for Italy, because like my father is a sommelier, and so he likes to drink and he likes wine in general. Like he's a sommelier, and then he actually 1 year ago he graduated. He did the high school again, and he became an enologist. Like I don't know if it's like your brother. So he did the studies, how to grow the grapes, how to mix everything. So he started like a passion for drinking, but then it evolved in something more scientific, let's say.
Yeah, scientific, technical.
Technical, yeah. So I mean, a bottle of Prosecco or Champagne or Cremant is never missing on the table, whether it's lunch or dinner. So at the end, it's part of our culture, like Southern Europe, let's say.
It is.
Spain, France, and Italy. That's
good food, good wine goes together, and then that makes the joy of the family. And you all you have to do is then talk around that, and you have a good
exactly.
But you're lucky then.
Yeah.
Have a good family.
Yeah. No, because like I don't know if I don't want to say Northern Europe, but in other countries, it's like champagne and sparkling wine. It seems like something that you wanna show your wealth or whatever you wanna show off. That's the word. So that's why I know these people would never understand actually our culture, because like the wine is not just drinking for the sake of drinking. It's like more
for the price, but
exactly
more for the taste and the happiness that is around that.
Yeah.
And you have fantastic wine in Italy as well.
Yeah. What's your favorite one? Do you have one?
You mean in Italy?
It's Italian, yeah.
Probably Barolo is something that I really like. I do not know too much, to be honest. I know a little bit. My husband is a big fan of Italian wine.
Okay.
And he would have traveled and know much more. So he makes me discover some things, but I'm not a big specialist of Italy.
Okay.
Maybe something to work on.
Yeah. And about French wine? What's your...
French wine,
to go?
So, I would say that taste is evolving, probably with age, or I don't know, with some habits. I was really much a fan of Bordeaux and of Côte du Rhône as well. Okay. Then I explored a lot the south parts like Languedoc-Roussillon, Minervois, which I liked. My favorites still are like in Burgundy for the red wine in Gevrey-Chambertin. And for the white wine, that is made with Chardonnay, with some variation here. But I can say as well that on the white wine, I also explored a lot all the wine in the Loire. There's also a nice selection over there.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go deeper in this, because with all the French words, I'm a bit lost.
Yeah, because actually when we were in Egypt, I sent the pictures of the sparkling wine we're drinking there, because also when we go abroad, like we want to experience like local stuff, because if you look actually also, because it was really pricey, because if you were buying a bottle of Barolo, it was like 300 euros, and a sparkling wine from there, like local, was like cheaper. Okay,
it was like 45, 50 euros.
Yeah, exactly, and really really good
really
one,
good,
but really good quality, right? So I sent the picture to my dad. It's like this is sparkling one. Is like, is it wait, how do you say classic method in French? Like the way there is
La méthode champenoise.
Méthode champenoise, right? It's like and he's asking me, is it méthode champenoise? Like, that is like Prosecco, sparkling wine. Don't go too much into
bubbles.
White wine bubbles. You got it. There you go. Champenoise, whatever.
Dad is proud of him.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's, the black sheep. No, but so how was growing up in Champagne area?
How was it? I would say that it was very French compared to what we are knowing here. You know, little kids here in Luxembourg, they are speaking various languages and knowing a lot of people from abroad. I grew up really in a region where only people of France, I would say, are, and I was really happy because that was what I knew, and there was still a lot of people from different regions from France, but it was good. We're traveling a little bit with my parents, trying to discover also a bit Europe, but I think that growing up and traveling, you can see that people of your region are really generous, nice people, but at the same time, we're not welcoming easily people that are coming from outside, because you grow up with your friends and you then people are making their studies, work, have families, and that's, I would say, a quite close circle. So when some of us in my family went away, somewhere in France, somewhere in London for my sister at some point, or myself here, it was like quite a change, and that's the life that you and a lot of people have, and that's that we are seeing in Luxembourg.
Okay.
I would say nice childhood, but happy to discover something else as well.
That's nice. So you said you have a sister.
Yes.
So it's you, your sister, and
my brother.
Your brother.
So my sister is living still in the Ardennes, next to Champagne. There's a small region called Ardennes. It's 1 hour from Reims.
Okay.
And she's happily living in France, I would say.
Okay. And your brother?
So he's in Épernay.
Same. You stayed.
She told us she
we
works
need a
in.
little bit of
I didn't do
champagne, to warm
I
up.
have to take notes. Sorry.
I told you, Fanny never listens.
No, because sometimes you think the next question, so you're like. Okay.
But,
Okay.
How old you were when you moved to Netherlands?
I was 19.
Oh, 19.
Yeah, I made
It's
1
okay.
year of study in Reims, then 2 years in the Netherlands, and then 1 year back in Paris and Reims.
So it was during university time,
Yes,
no?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. And what were you studying at the time?
What I was studying.
Yeah. What
I
the
was
subject?
studying General Business School, so
Okay.
French business school. I don't know how it is for you in Italy, but you have various subjects from, I don't know, economics, law, geopolitics, but also logistics and strategy and marketing.
Okay.
A lot of nice things with interesting teachers. This school from Reims that has changed a lot of names and now is called Neoma, merging with Rouen, which is another town. It's a fantastic school. I mean, to study, to make, to discover different people with different backgrounds, and to have experience. You have also work placement. You work in companies, and it's fantastic. That was a time, where you are young, full of energy, wants to discover the world. So that's really nice. A good memory for me.
But and at the time, your sister was she was in London. You said.
Yes, so she's 3 years. How do you say that? Smaller than me. And after baccalaureate, she went in London for 1 year, and then back in France.
Okay.
And for you, I was like living in Netherlands. When you arrived there, what was like the main difference that you have noticed? I was like living alone.
That's a good question. So I was not living alone. I was sharing an apartment with 3 students, and it was those big houses for students.
Yeah.
So next to us was another apartment. So on the terrace, we quit the barrier so that we make it an apartment for 6, and then with the next neighbors as well. So lots of parties. It was really nice in that sense. You could see that the Dutch people are really kind of party animals.
Shout out to Dutch people.
Yeah.
Very good. They are nice people, trying as well, to be open to the world. They speak English faster than us, which was a big discovery. At school, after 1 hour of English study, they separated the French that were really good in writing with quasi no error, but really bad at speaking, and then the Dutch was exactly the reverse. So we couldn't be mixed together, though we were mixed in a lot of subjects, and of course in a lot of parties. So people that are really eager, to mingle around and to discover and to make you discover their country. They're really proud of their country, all the little and big cities, all the different villages. With their, I don't know, with their porcelain or their cheese or their different things. Amsterdam is a fantastic town as well. I don't know if you've been there in Amsterdam.
We've
Quite a
been
few
a few
times.
times.
Yeah,
It's another world. It's
Yeah.
another world. Like
if you go during summer and late, let's say fall season, it's lovely because the weather is nice and
it's full of Italians.
yeah, also.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Italians are
everywhere. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. So,
Like when you go around like October, November, you see just like guys going around with like the beanie
yeah.
with written Amsterdam. Yeah, like but it's really beautiful. See,
Yeah, it's a nice city.
Mm.
And my mom is always telling me, go to the Van Gogh Museum. I was like, yeah, mom.
It's nice, huh?
yeah, you
But
should, you should go.
I think I never made it. Mom, don't listen. I went there. No worries.
Ciao, Paula.
One day.
And so after Netherlands, you came back to France, and I was coming back like after being 2 years.
After 2 years in other country.
So after 2 years, first of all, I
Paris.
went to Paris when
Ah,
I worked
okay.
for a company for 6 months. So again, I shared an apartment with some friends over there. It was really nice to discover Paris life. To every weekday I would work and then go and take an aperitif here or have dinner there. And on the weekend we could discover and travel around Paris. Would that be going to different places or area to see the atmosphere? To the market, the marché aux puces, but also going to museum that at that time I was liking with my friends, or going to the opera. I didn't have a lot of money at that time, but we were able, to take some places where you're not really seated, but you're not really standing. You're assis debout. So it's those chairs that are like this, and you just
you just pull it from the wall, no?
Exactly,
Something
and
like
you
you just lean back.
you just lay back like this, and we were doing that during the first part, just observing who would be missing, and then at the second part we would then sit down at the very forefront and in front of the opera. So it was a good time as well. And after Paris, I went back to Reims, back to my parents' houses, because for 6 months I would not rent something, and that was close to my parents. I was like, would be difficult after after so many time with my rhythm and so on. But it was all fine. It was the last 6 months, and then I came to Luxembourg. So I tried as well to take advantage of that time with my parents. But in the end, you're studying, you're doing again parties, because that would be the last student parties before working.
Yeah.
That all went very fast.
Okay, I see. And you moved to Luxembourg alone, or you at the time you were already?
I was alone. So the way I chose and picked Luxembourg, and how I came to Luxembourg, that I really wanted to work or in Paris or in London, and I was applying, but with a lot of good intention and probably a lack of humility. I wanted, good jobs and so on. And I applied for something a little bit upper my level. And at the same time, I discovered some companies in Luxembourg that was offering good opportunities or tour in banks and so on. So I went for some interview and I discovered my company a little bit by hazard, but I really liked the fact that, there were a lot of young people working there. a lot of opportunity that was possible, and a lot of people from different countries. So I saw that probably at the time like a second Erasmus. It was true in the end. I think that was the better choice that I've made.
And how was like Luxembourg 22 years ago?
It was much less constructed, much less bars and lifetime, although there was, but less probably less opportunities. But still, a lot of people, again, as I said earlier, coming from various countries, and everybody. And I'm sure that you had the same experience. Everybody is coming from different countries with no family here.
Yeah.
So it's really easy, to make friends because everybody is seeking friends. So it was easy to meet people and to mingle together and to have good friends on which you can trust and have good time. But so this bar, this place existed at the time. So all restaurants and bars would have different names, changing every year, every 2 years, a lot of rotation as well. Really quiet. I remember that when I was arriving with my little car in front of the station, at the traffic light, I was the first car at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. There was nobody on the street. It was completely empty. Not like today where people are probably getting up at 6 or 7 and trying to make it through the traffic. Completely different. A lot of land, not so much construction around. But still, I enjoyed. I'm still here. So.
And what was the reason for you to stay? That's
a good question. I think that indeed, as I say, I wanted to stay 2 years in Luxembourg or 2 years in my company and then discover a client and go. And in the end, I think that I really liked the atmosphere that we had in Luxembourg, having so many friends and so many nice people around me. But also so many opportunities, because I think that when you are a young man, a young girl, the opportunities in Luxembourg are easy to grab. And if you're, curious, you're happy to work, to ask questions, and to go forward, there's a lot of opportunity that comes to you, and you just need to grab them and make something out of it. Ask questions, be curious, and discover and enjoy. Really enjoy. That was really the thing that I did. I really enjoyed.
Yeah. So you started already in the company you work now.
Yes.
Wow.
Which is something probably that people do not do anymore. 22 years in the same company.
Were you wondering already that one day you will become no?
Not at all. No, I was just probably seeing 2 or 3 years ahead, but not too much. And again, time is passing very fast. You have opportunities. I was enjoying what I was doing, and time is passing, and then you say, it could be nice maybe if I stay and have this exposure, I work for this client, or I get the opportunity to develop my skills here and there, and probably had the chance to work for the right people, to meet the right people, to have the right colleagues as well. It's always a question of chance, opportunity, and probably you also create that opportunity, a mix of all of that.
And you always stayed in audit.
Yes, I did. I did some advisory missions as well for some clients, which I'm still doing today, which does not represent the big part of my time, but that enabled me to discover something else, to discover the industry in which I am, and to understand better my clients as well, to understand better their needs, and to be able to help them as well, which is I enjoy the most.
How was auditing 20 years ago? Because right now we have Python, we have Alteryx, we have thousands of apps that we can easily do our job. I imagine 20 years ago it wasn't like this, right?
So there were things that were completely different and much more manual, and things that are still the same.
Okay.
So the tool that was the most important for us was the red pen.
Okay.
The red pen would allow us tick, meaning to sum, all your column, all your figures, and making sure that you've done this and document that you've done it, and we had courses on how to tick. There were also people that put, I can't remember the name in English, to put the stempel, exactly the stamp, when an audit was finalized and signed, all days. Know that in some countries like Spain, they're still having, the nice papers, official paper with the stamp. So that's, and we had, so we were using Bloomberg not for a long time ago. So you could be as an assistant assigned to go on the Bloomberg devices for 3 days in a row and pick the numbers and write it. It was horrible. So when you were assigned to that, to the valuation of the portfolio, you were not that happy. But it did not last long, maybe 1 year, and then you were doing something else. But what is still staying today and that existed at the same time is that what is important in an audit is that you understand the activity of your clients, you understand what he is doing, you are talking to the people, you're changing with those people. Hey, what are you doing on your day-to-day? What is your job? How do you control that? What are you producing or what are you making as a service? And we are still, and we were at the time, helping our clients, to be better in, their control, their financial controls, or anything that they wanted to develop. So that part is still staying, and I think that's also one part that is probably the most important and the most interesting. No?
Yeah, but there are some clients that you start with and you still have now. Or
yeah, that's a good question. No, I don't think. Well, I have some clients that I have since for many years, but the very first client that I had that are still here in Luxembourg, you kind of rotate. What is interesting is that I still meet those people at the time in the street, and we're still, good friend. And hey, how are you? That was the whole time. At our events not long ago, I met again someone that I was working with during 15 years. So 15 years ago, where both young people trying to to make our day on this file that was really complicated, and we've been really good friends after that. If we've been doing that difficult thing together in a nice atmosphere, it was not an easy one. I think that we can work on a lot of clients together.
Yeah, but that's something that because now I switch out of audit, but something that I really liked is like when you have like either big clients or anyway like difficult tasks. If you have you're surrounded by people that you trust, and you let's say let's just say you trust. Even working long hours, it doesn't matter because you do it for the team. You do it for your friends at the end, right? Exactly. They're not just colleagues. So it's something that it really stuck with me, right? It's like
it's a very important dimension. You're picking on the trust. I think that's fundamental because the work that you are doing and producing, that someone is reviewing, there's an element of trust in it. But it's also a kind of respect and helping each other. We all had some colleagues, that were in pain after some long hours at night, various evenings. So why not helping them? And, that's how you also create this belonging or this attachment together, and that you make friends at work. The same goes with the clients, client that you're helping, a lot of them
remember.
They will remember.
Yeah. Especially if you deliver with quality. If it happens that then they switch to someone else and they see a difference, they will come back for sure, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But
as long as you bring value and not, with the cup hat, which is not what we want to be.
Yeah, and like along your career, I bet there's many examples, but is there is there been any moment where you said that I want to quit? I
yeah.
cannot do this anymore.
There was much more when I was really young, and probably at some point 1 year when I was manager. But when I was really young, meaning the 2 first years, I was working with some nice people and some other people which I valued a little less, that had much less values, the values of respect, of trust, but also we're a team. And if you do not have that, and you're working with someone, and you don't see that the person is valuing not only your work but valuing the team, valuing what matters to you, why continuing working with those people? And I was really at that time saying to myself, maybe it's time for me to discover something else. And I was also probably thinking, maybe I know about it all in audit. Maybe I know all, and I will not learn much more, which was completely wrong. And I discovered that not a couple of years later. But I had the chance to meet some people, managers, directors, and partners who trusted me on something else, and that came a little bit by surprise. But in the Life magazine of the company, a partner was saying, there's these new norms, and we're helping our client to adapt to that norms. We're doing some audit and some advisory things, and because the norms have been evolving a lot, we are understanding it and making it easier for our clients, and we're looking for teams to do that. And that was an American norms coming from the CFA, the GIPS standard. And I said to myself, that seems very interesting. Let's apply. So I wrote an email to that partner. By the way, it took me at least 30 minutes to find the right word and so on. And then he came to me, interviewed me, and said, I really have a lot of work. There's those 15 new standards that I need to digest. Can you summarize them to me and explain them to me? Okay, fine. So I had my week, to work on that, to understand it. I made summaries, and then I presented it to him. And he said to me, that's fantastic, but I need now to present it to a client, which is a very big investment manager, international manager. It's next week, and I do not have time. So you'll come with me, and you'll present it to the client.
Whoa, that was a big step for you.
I was not prepared for it. So stress came in, I repeated, and so on. It was a fantastic opportunity to discuss with that investment manager and his team, with the team, because it was not only a partner, also at my company. And here I really started my career, understanding what the industry means, what's really helping a client would mean as well, and how we could develop a team. So we developed a lot of services around that, and that was fantastic. A very nice opportunity.
And when you were working, let's say in audit, because that explains already something, you were with your boyfriend slash
I was with
husband?
my past boyfriend, not
okay.
not the new one that became that is now my husband.
Okay. And actually, I was because like managing a relationship when you work in audit is always a struggle. I would say it's not that easy. So I was
probably. I think that my husband and I mean, we like what we do at the job. He's also working a lot, and by the way, he's traveling as well a lot.
Okay.
And we respected each other, because I mean, what we value in our job is the fact that we're developing some skills and some knowledge and some experience and exposure, but also that we have a good network, a good social network with our colleagues and with our clients. So the fact that we work long hours certain weeks or less long hours was not really much an issue between us. There have always been respect, as long as it was healthy and that it brought each other something. And then it changed a little bit when we created our family. We have two little boys, 7 and 5. And when you have little children, you also need to spend time with them and because they count on you to grow, and that's really important. I think that you learn how to be more efficient, to say no more easily to certain things, or to adapt every day, every week, and that's working well for us.
Yeah. Actually, we have so many, trainings about time management, but the real deal is actually you have a baby and then you learn time management.
Wow. Yes. And I think it was really challenging now with the COVID to work from home.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
It was. You have those little kids, they have school, although they were really young. So the fact that they missed or not, their Zoom was not that important. By the way, my little one, he was 4 at the time. He would go 10 minutes on Zoom, and then you would find him, playing with his cars. What are you doing? It was boring, Mama. I could not stand. So, the teachers are not really, were not really, I would say, upset by that situation, but we were doing what we could. The good thing with us is that we have a nanny, and she stayed with us, so she brought us a lot of help. So I could not really complain. But it was good as well because we spent time in family and with our nanny. I mean, we were exchanging a lot together. Having my husband as well was every day at home, which never happened. Yeah. It was nice. We created different habits. And compared to other countries, Spain or France that I know the most, where people had more severe lockdowns in Luxembourg, we could go outside. Yeah. So every day I was with the bike with the kids or in the forest doing some walk with them. So it was hard from a social perspective. This I can totally agree, but it was less hard than in other countries. So I'm trying to. Yes.
Yeah. So you live here in Luxembourg City?
Yeah, I'm living in Bonnevoie. So
okay.
It's easy, to go everywhere in Luxembourg.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because actually, I was about to ask, but you partially replied already. Because I'm not thinking to have a baby now, but like when you live. So far, me and Fly, for example, we're living like 1,000 kilometers away from our place. So, all my friends. If they have a kid, they can always rely on the grandma on the grandpa, right? But for us, would be, I guess, totally different because we don't live next to our parents. So, but I was for you like.
It's a challenge because our parents are not here. My family is in Champagne, and the family of my husband is in Spain. So not I would say closed door. So in Luxembourg there is this fantastic systems of au pair, and a lot of our friends, if your house or your apartment can accommodate, it's a fantastic way as well to accommodate a little bit of flexibility. So an au pair will not replace a parent in terms of education, but gives you a little bit of flexibility with the kids, either to pick them up from school or to simply play with them, or to
also to give you to give some time just with your husband and everything if you want to have dinner as a normal couple.
Totally, exactly. And this is easier for us. So just have it a little bit organized a little bit in advance. And you have also, you have those websites with nanny that come maybe for 2 hours or 3 hours when you want to go outside for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's ladies at the crèche, the kindergarten, that are also happy, to work for 2 hours for doing that. So it's not impossible. It requires a little bit of organization, but it's good.
Manageable.
And before having kids, what was the most challenging time in your career?
Choosing which place to go on that weekend, because there's too much places where we can go. I did not have so much issue, I would say. Challenges, let me think. It's not easy to find. When you have a family, can tell you that the life is a little bit different. It's not bad. That's not at all what I want to say, but it requires organization.
Okay.
Before, I was waking up on a Saturday at the hours, the timing that I wanted. I could go out without any issue.
Yeah.
Now?
No. Little bit of organization, yeah. I would
That's
say.
also because you told us that your husband is traveling a lot. He's traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, again, the first year, the first 2 years was a challenge to figure out how would go to pick my child from kindergarten and then, have fun time together, but also finish my project, but yeah, you find that, we all find some ways, and we have a good routine. And we're also adapting, because there's always something that you cannot plan, which is okay, which is fine. We're all adapting. But I would say the most important thing is really to take time for your family and for yourself, and this is the most challenge that we would have now.
Yeah.
And so, when you are alone, what do you do? What do you like to do?
When
What's,
I'm alone by myself.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
hobby, how do you
Okay, so
relax?
if I want to relax cozily at home, a little bit of tea, nice music, a good book, or calling my friends, then also having some nice wine or champagne tasting with my friends. But I like also doing sports. Not that I'm a very highly sporty person, but sport is really part of my week. It's very important for me, to refresh and to take fresh air.
Yeah.
So I like walking in the forest, doing some Nordic walking, also hiking, in the Petite Suisse luxembourgeoise and all the places that Luxembourg has to offer. And that's really important. So I'm doing that all during the weekend or at lunchtime as well.
Okay.
Lunchtime is easy. Most companies would have some showers or some places where you can change and you go.
But now I open the showers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Again. Yeah. But
They are.
I will still not go, but just asking.
yes. After difficult meeting with the client,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
shower. not because of the Nordic
Yeah.
walking.
I'm closing the CGA. Take a shower.
For me, that's part of the way to expulse off all the stress and let's make good vibes come.
But actually, what is like specifically not working? Because I don't know nothing about it. It's just what is the difference between, I don't know, hiking and just walking?
So you can walk. You just go, with your foot, and you.
Yeah.
You can
That I
do
can-
Nordic walking with the poles. Technique, to go with long arms and
Yes.
long legs and go a little bit faster. I would say, but it also moves about 90% of your body, which is good. That's not a very good, very requiring musculature. I don't know how you say that in English, but it entertains your body. But for me, the most important is that I'm outside and taking some fresh air and doing some activities. So I'm doing that with some friends sometimes, or in a club that I'd like to join. My to-do list, to renew that. And hiking would be really much in the mountains. So you have so call it mountain in Luxembourg, but there's still a lot of places to go. You can go do some very nice things. There's a lot of clubs in Facebook or in other apps that you can join and do that in groups.
Yeah, because
Like to hike, Giacomo?
no, actually, once funny story. Funny. I was with my girlfriend at the time. We're in Italy. We're in the middle of Italy, more or less, Emilia Romagna, like a region. Let's go for a hike, like just walking, right? And at some point we take a route. So there are different colors or paths that you can. And it was like 10 kilometers. It was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I mean, we just walk and. So at some point we see like the path goes deeper and deeper. Steeper and steeper, and at some point we had also to climb a bit, And then my girlfriend at the time, she started crying because she couldn't bear it, because it was like it's too dangerous, let's go back. I was like, no, come on, it's like only 2 kilometers, let's do it, blah blah. And at some point,
the guy talking that he broke his toe playing beach volley.
I
It's
wasn't
not
expecting.
dangerous.
It's not dangerous. Cheat. So at the end, we got to the peak, and it was like 2.2 kilometers height. So it was really like a hike.
Steep, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just with jeans and let's go for a walk.
But did you enjoy?
Yeah, it was really cool.
After that?
And actually afterwards,
still recovering.
Yes,
After 10 years.
Still injured. No, then when I went to Japan, because I've been there for 6 months, I went to Fuji. Yeah. Also there, I mean, we were 3 people. One was really expert, let's say, because at the time didn't know, but basically every more or less 150 meters, the temperature goes down by 1 degree, right? But it was August in Japan, which is super warm. It was like 30 degrees. So I said, okay, let's go on the top of the Fuji. I was like, sure, okay, let's do it. And it's like 3,800 kilometers, right? Something like that.
Meters.
Yeah, meters. What did I say?
Kilometers.
No, meter. Yeah. So again, still my mistake. I was with jeans. I mean, a lot of t-shirt, sweater, and coat and whatever. So I was ready, right? But I was without gloves and without a hat. So we started going. It's not difficult. You can just literally walk. Okay, sometimes it's really steep, but you can still manage. It's not nothing impossible, difficult in my opinion.
Not climbing.
No, not climbing this time.
Okay. That's good.
But the more we were going up, and the more it was getting really, really cold. So at some point we got to the peak, to the summit, but it was really freezing. As my hands were shaking because it was 0 degrees. Because if you make some calculation, by the time we got to the summit, it was 0 degrees. So it was freezing. And in order to survive, I mean, I can say it.
No, don't say it.
No?
No.
Come on, it's funny.
No, she's funny.
She's
You're not.
But we had to warm ourselves, right? Because I didn't have gloves, right? And I don't remember, because I had I could somehow cover my hands, but still it was super windy and super cold. So I was like, I'm gonna die or something like that. So my friend came up with a really nice idea. That's why he's an expert, and we had him on the crew. So we had to. We took a bottle of plastic and we peed on the bottle of plastic in order to warm hands. So you have to adapt to the nature, to the conditions. Is no ways.
There's some people that are organizing weeks of survival, in France, in some area. So now that you've done stage 1, you can maybe go to stage 2 and go in the forest.
But now I downgraded because I broke my toe while drinking gin and tonic along the beach. So I need to review my skills.
Adventurous guy.
No, but I really liked it. But especially the aspect of the adventure, because you don't know what you're expecting, and it's still a challenge, right? Because before that I did only 2,000 meters, so it was still okay, right?
And you ended up with a flu for 2 or 3 days after that.
Actually, because then we came back on at the base camp, but it was off season, so there was no hotel, no camp, no nothing. So we literally had to sleep in the toilets because they were a little bit warmer.
Fantastic vacation that you're doing.
And we did also other way around, because usually when you go to the summit, you start in the night. So once you reach the peak, you see the sunrise, right? But we did other way around. So we got to the summit and it was sun setting, and so then it was totally dark. Imagine it at the peak of Fuji, and it was totally dark, and we had to go climb all the way down, and we didn't have a torch. I mean, any torch. So we put the flash in the phone, but it was still okay. But again, if I made it after this experience, I'm ready to take on everything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Nice experience, Giacomo. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for sharing.
Especially pissing in the bottle.
Yeah. Fanny, do you have some question for him?
Okay, sorry.
I
Too much
won't
screen
embarrass
time.
him.
I know. Sorry. I wanted to share it.
No,
We're into hiking and stuff.
We're really happy to have you tonight and sharing your stories. Oh no, I'm serious.
Trying to be funny.
I'm serious. Can I ask you a question?
If you want to, I mean.
You can organize your next vacation if you want to rely on someone. So
yeah,
please,
go on.
question, Flavio.
Fanny, how to survive in Luxembourg? Because now we know how to survive on
the Fuji.
The
on the
Fuji.
Fuji. Now I would like
Take
to
notes.
know how to survive in Luxembourg for 22 years.
22 years, yeah, exactly.
Even more
That's,
if we can, but like
for me, what I value the most and that is important is really enjoy or make something that makes you enjoy life.
okay.
You can be in any places of the world. So you can be in Barcelona next to the beach, and that would be probably better from a weather point of view. But what really counts is who are you surrounded by, and what are you doing every day? Is that something that goes along with what you want to do, with your value, with your development, and do you have the right person next to you to help you or to help them as well, and to share? So it's really grab the opportunity that you have, and the opportunity can be at work, can be in an association, can be in your social life, but stand well. Know yourself and stand by your choice. And if you're not happy by your choice or by something, make a decision, to accept it or to change it. And enjoy life is really what we need the most.
We can stop it here. It's like
Yes.
you don't want to go lower than this level.
And
Nice reply. I like
yeah,
it.
actually yes, because someone just says like focus on what you do, work hard, blah blah, but they never think about like try to be consistent with your values.
Which is not easy, by the way. I'm saying that as if it was what I'm doing every day or what is easy. It's not. But I think that while years are passing, you're making mistakes, and that's okay to make mistakes. Would that be at work or in your life? But you're learning from that, and you're going ahead, and you're taking the most out of it. So we're all learning that.
And if I may ask, like now your partner, imagine you like 20 years ago, you will do the same path to go partner, or you would like to change something like
That's a good question. Probably, I don't know. I'm happy with that, what I'm doing. I'm happy with the life I had and I have, and the choice I made. There's so much thing in this life that I would like to try to do, that if I could have done 10 things at the same time, going to South America and visit a lot of places, learn how to cook, and maybe have a life around cooking at some point would be good. There's so many things that I like to do, but do I need to change my past life to do that? I'm not sure. Maybe that's something that I can do now.
yeah, you can do now or like in a few years.
Exactly. Now
Right.
I have those fantastic apps that we have on the iPhone, like Masterclass or others,
Yeah.
and you can learn so many things, and that's cool ways, to learn how to cook or how to not be an enologist, but at least
Yeah.
to know things about wine and enjoying wine at the same time. I like to hike much more. So I
Yeah,
have
we
some
should find
objectives.
also a masterclass for hiking.
There is not
Maybe-
for
Come
the
to me.
moment. I'm
I
trying
mean,
to.
200 euros.
No,
Yeah, that's the
200.
cost. Usually do you go
Yeah.
actually in the app masterclass? The is black one, no?
Yeah, the black and with the M,
White,
which is
no?
red.
And
Yeah.
the classes are around 200 euros each,
exactly for the year. Yeah.
no? Price with a
I'm
lot
s-
in line with the market.
I don't have this app. It's like the one that also Gordon Ramsay is
Yeah, yeah.
sponsoring.
Exactly,
and
Yeah. But you
There's a
can
lot of
find
200
people.
anything.
euros. I
Yeah.
can cook like Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Fancy? Try
lettuce.
it.
Tomato.
Yeah,
You can
how to
try it
change
for
in my
30
life.
days.
Or for hiking, up to you.
No, not hiking.
Masterclass by Giacomo Moretti. No.
No, frate. No, I'm sorry. Like you're an auditor, or not anymore. You're an auditor. You're a data scientist.
I'm
now.
still assurance though.
You're still
so,
assurance.
Very good. So you're the future. You're the future of our company. I think so.
I don't want to be so. No. Don't put so much reliance on me.
We
No.
are. So if you tell me not to do.
No.
Next
I-
partner.
I like what I'm doing and I really believe in what I'm doing because I mean actually along all jobs I did I seen the potential of transformation and stuff, and audit in general is one of the one of the jobs where you can improve a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think actually there will never be a scenario where a robot will replace the auditor, because the auditor has you have so much input to give, like your perspective, your point of view
Yeah.
on a matter, whether something is important or not. So it's not that, but we how do you say, we lose a lot of time in some stuff that are repetitive, like
Yeah.
organizing the Excel sheets, and if there's an app or something that could
I agree.
facilitate that, then just go for it. So the auditor will just learn audit itself and not being.
I agree. It would be a revolution. It
Yeah.
is already a revolution. There's a lot of things that we have replayed that we were doing at the time. When I was starting as an assistant, my partners were telling me that when they started, they took the newspaper, took the prices of each stock and input that on a paper, and that was their audits. When I started, we took the Bloomberg prices, input it in Excel, made the calculation, and here was our audit. Nowadays, those data are coming from different tubes, are compared to the one of your clients, and this analysis is done with the input of the auditor. As you say, is not to do the input or to choose the right source, because we can automate that. It's much more to analyze the exception and to add value to the market, to the investors, and to our clients. Probably one day, which is not very long from now, we'll not have one audit a year, 4 months after the battle, but probably a more frequent audit. We speak about continuous audits at a date maybe a few days after the date that you choose, and not in 4 months or in 6 months. So the level of assurance and trust that we would provide to the market, to the investors, again, to the users of the financial information, and to our clients would be much, much bigger.
Okay, I see. And actually, how do you stay up to date? I mean, not just regarding technologies, but also other topics in your whether it's your job or your passions or anything else. How do you?
Well, there's various sources, and probably too many sources that we have to choose. So again, it's a matter of priority, but also be curious. I cannot stick to my little sources every morning. So my French newspaper or the UK newspaper or whatever. So I'm trying to observe various news, and a lot of things are coming now with the app, with the internet. A lot of news letter are coming to my emails, but there's also conferences where you're listening to what people are thinking, are saying, are predicating for the futures. I like really much The Economist, for example, where I think it's a good analysis of what is currently happening or what would come in the futures. But there's again a lot of conferences, people that are also able to have an opinion on what would come next, not only in the industry but in life, with high tech, with medicines, and so on. There's too much to read, probably.
Yeah.
Every day a bit on weekends. Podcast also, I like it.
Also
So don't be
podcast,
that. Don't be like the guy that only relies on Facebook, guys.
I know. No. Facebook is good to know how your friends are going and to send some pictures of them, but not much.
No, but you know those guys that they just read the title, share it. Oh my God! Look what's going on. They want to. I don't know.
Yeah.
They go
There's
crazy.
the 5G in the vaccine.
Yeah. Crazy stories.
That's okay.
The podcast is good. You can listen them while you're training, doing your fitness or anything.
Yes.
And there's some article that you can listen to as well, which is good.
Yeah, but have to buy the premium of the newspaper.
Yeah, there's some app now that are transforming a text into a vocal vocal thing that you can listen to. So not all the apps are very good, because you have a monolithic voice that explains to you. So, oh no, I can't do that. But some are better than others.
I'll try.
We also have some, let's say, funny questions. Funny meaning that they're for you.
Yeah.
No, but let's we do one-on-one. So this one, I like it. But what is the stupidest thing you spent money on that you think is stupid? Or maybe there must be something, right?
There must be something.
Because the previous guys was like, I'm always, he didn't say anything. Was like, I'm wise with my money. It's like, there must be something.
Yeah, there will be always something.
I got it. It was a concert. I can't remember the name of the singers. It was a concert that I thought was a very big groups, and I went to Esch for going to see those girls, and I was surrounded by girls of 14 years old accompanied by their dad. I was like, okay, I'm not sure that I made it right. So I stayed for the first 15 minutes just to see, and that was not for me.
It was
really.
a group.
Yeah, it was a group of girls singing for little girls.
You could tell, hey, where's my girl? I don't see her.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you seen Sasha? No, because
the worst is that when you have a colleague and the colleague is bringing his girl, and you say, "Oh, do you have a niece or?" Yes, sure. She's
away. She's around the corner. Yeah. That's funny. Never
I forgot her at home.
On you.
Favorite food in the world?
Tapas. I love tapas.
Spanish.
Yes, in Spain you really eat very well, and people are really friendly. What I liked really much in Spain, you go to some town like Madrid or Bilbao, and you go and everyone is outside. Everyone is taking an aperitif together, going from one bar to another, having some good time. Children and families and grandmothers are seated on a terrace and having a good fun. That's not something that we have in Nordic countries, obviously, for the weather.
Because it's cold,
but also the culture, because we have a lot of terraces that are crowded, but it's less the culture. Let's go together and have an aperitif, a tapas, during a weekday.
Yes.
You go to Madrid. I was there 15 days ago for work again. It's crowded everywhere. Fantastic.
But to be honest, like there are some bars and places here in Luxembourg that you actually enjoy, like to go there, right?
I agree.
Because I mean, not most, but some they don't know how to treat the customer, the client properly, right? So that's why we also come here because we always go to Conrad because to be honest, they know how to treat the customer and they are more empathic with the client, you know, so you can feel you're treated well. And you're more like
I think the word that you're looking for is like they take care of you.
They take care of you and you're more willing to go back, right? And it's something that in some restaurants you can feel that either they don't care or at the end you're just money for them and they will make it anyway, whether it's you or someone else. But in some bars they recognize you, they tell you how are you, how was your day, even just asking this,
it's all about experience, and it's all about, again, the value that we were talking before: respect, sharing, having a good time, enjoying your time.
Yeah. And so, and here in Luxembourg, what's your favorite restaurant if you have to go, like somewhere? And
so I really love, and it's an Italian restaurant, Fanny in Roser, not because they are called Fanny. It's really funny because the first time that I've gone, it was my secretary that reserved for me, and she said, under which name? Under Fanny. And so they welcome me as Madame Fanny, and they always recognize me now. Not that I'm really going so much, but they are really friendly. They are really nice. They are taking care of people, of their customers.
But is the one out of Luxembourg, right?
Yes, in Roser.
Fanny.
It's an Italian restaurant.
Fanny. Yeah.
Fantastic restaurant. The food is very nice. Roberto Fanny and his wife, they are really nice, and all the waiters as well.
Yeah. Most foolish thing you have done for love? If there's something, like if you ever done something foolish.
Foolish, I don't know if it's foolish, but I think that so for love I renounced to go in exchange at my company in New York.
Okay,
I was
good point.
investing in my life. I learned how to speak Spanish in a record time in order to be integrated with his friends and family, and it's the best decision that I've taken probably at that point. And accepted to wear those rings that are very nice, but also very, how do you say that, custom in Spain when you have pearls that are really big like this.
Okay.
It's not foolish, but some people would tell me that you never had that before.
Come on, pick one.
What's your next accomplishment?
The one that I'll do next?
Your next
Even
goal.
if it's like your personal goal and not just about working,
I'm really into sports those days, and I really want to do a competition either in hiking or in Nordic walking. So I've found a trainer. Well, it's not really a trainer. It's someone that would accompany people to have a nice hike in the mountain in Nice, and he's a fantastic guy. Okay. So I'm trying to build my objective around that, but I'm not totally done with that. But that would be the direction to go.
But like the competition is about like timing, how long
the timing, distance.
Okay.
I like to do that not really only by myself, but with the team, so that it's more funny and you have a better experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at that. Any advice from any of your audience would be welcome.
Something that you like to do, but you are terrible at.
Singing.
Oh, really?
I'm a complete disaster for singing. And, so it has always been like that. And when my child were really young, they loved that I saw that I was singing. And my husband was, I let you with them.
He was putting headphones to isolate. I'm sure you really like it.
But your children, they were like enjoying it. So everything for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at the time they couldn't speak, so they couldn't complain.
They couldn't say
They were
non-stop.
forced.
The first app that you open in the morning on the phone.
On your phone.
Apple Music.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, some
And?
nice music.
What are you
Yeah.
playing?
Something a bit chilly, easy to start the day and to be
Okay.
like to
Okay.
wake up
Nice.
in a good mood.
Good mood.
Nice.
And celebrity crush? You have one? Someone?
The crush game, you mean?
No,
like,
someone that you like a celebrity that
celebrity that you're like, let's say, in love with.
maybe when you
like
were a
George
teenager.
Clooney, so-
Yeah. That's a good question. So I must confess that I'm not too much into celebrity
Celebrities.
things and so on. So I have to look really, really deeply who I would really like, because obviously there's someone that I would like, but that does not come like this to my mind.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Best colleague or teammate that you ever had, and why?
Her name is two names. Her name are Sophie and Serene. I shared an office with Sophie, so she was a colleague. She has now quit and is working still in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
We had fantastic time together. We shared a good moment and also some pains. We learned together, and I think that made us stronger and having good time.
Mm-hmm.
And Serena as well. She came a little bit later, but not so late. Fantastic, lovely, smiley, and positive person. Always, looking for the good spirit and the good of
Yeah.
the team, which is what I
It's
love.
important to have like a person in your daily life like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the second name? No.
She-
So that was
Yeah,
already
she-
two.
She mentioned both.
Scusa. Sorry.
Keep attention. This one I like, especially because you've been working quite a lot in the same, let's say, industry, right? If it wasn't what you're currently doing, right? So,
Uh-huh.
your partner, what do you think would be your current profession in a parallel world?
In a parallel world, I could be probably working in the vineyards for a champagne company,
Not bad.
Mm.
Not bad.
producing, or probably much more selling or doing something so that the company is getting better, or that we serve customers better. That would be something that
Okay.
I would do as well.
So back to your roots, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
back to the champagne.
Mm.
And if it wasn't for, let's say 21st century, in which period would you like to be born? Anytime. I mean, not with dinosaurs, I guess, but
Why not? Because I'm currently reading this book of *Sapiens*. If
Okay.
you've heard about it, it's Yuval Harari that wrote this, and he also made a comics about that. And he's telling all the evolution of man and the sapiens, of course,
Mhm.
which was not the only species of men at the time, and why we are here and not the others. And it's amazing because I'm rediscovering that the sapiens discovered America much before Christophe Colomb, obviously, and did a lot of things. And I'm really wondering how was it at the time where people were just taking fruits and what was growing here and having not so much meat as we have, but taking what they found in the nature and just be happy with that. No worries with anything. Everybody also
no client's confirmation to perform.
TBGL recon.
Nothing more than the daily life and enjoying nature and also enjoying the tribe, because it was like a little group of maybe 50 people, and maybe it's because I'm reading that book, but I'm really wondering. How was it? We have so much thing today that we need to think of, and goals and so on. Do we need so much goals in the end at the end of the day? By the way, when you were asking me what are my next goal, another big goal for me is to relax much more and to enjoy less and to enjoy more with less things.
Yeah, good point.
It's a good thing.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Relax more, enjoy, be curious. Don't the big one for me, and especially for me, would be do not be afraid to make mistakes. That's okay. You just learn from that.
Okay.
We should learn from that.
Yeah. Posso fare il mio preferito?
Yeah, come on.
Okay, it's my favorite one. So, picture this. You're going to a restaurant for dinner, sitting at a table of 4, and you can bring 3 people from 3 persons from any time and from all over the world.
Okay.
Who would they be?
Can I give some names? So probably names that I've already quoted and some others. So of friends or some people that.
But even
from 2,000 years ago.
Even Napoleon, if you want. You could
Napoleon.
you can bring 3 people. Anyone, from anywhere, from any time.
So Sean Connery, I would be really interested to have a chat with Sean Connery. So now it's not possible anymore.
Maybe that's a celebrity crush.
Could be,
you see?
Right. But that sounds a little so she like a really old man.
in his prime.
Before, exactly. Who else? Probably Nelson Mandela, Gandhi would be some people that I would really like to meet. And I don't know why. Someone really contemporary who exists today. Christine Lagarde is for me someone that I like to know better. I think that she's inspiring, probably because she's a woman and I'm a woman. I can't think of a lot of other person, but someone that at some point do not know how to choose. So I would quote maybe 10 or 15.
It would be a party.
Okay, going for tapas.
Going for tapas.
Tapas with champagne.
Yeah,
exactly.
Good wine.
Good combo.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That was a very nice interview with you, Guy. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks a lot for sharing, let's say, your life with us and for accepting the invitation. It was really good.
Thank you very much. It was a great moment.
Yeah. So many nice insights. How to survive in Luxembourg, how to survive in a big company, but especially how to enjoy life. So I really liked it. So
yes, I didn't expect that, but thanks a lot. Bene così.
Yeah.
Thank you.